Any seconder? Can move and second that we adopt the agenda as it is. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Can we move to introduction? We move to the introduction. I will start with myself. I'm Honorable Lami J. Sane, National Assembly Member for Brikama South, co-chair of the Joint Committee of FPAC and PEC Committee.
Good morning, Honorable Amajibo, Vice Chair of FPAC and the co-chair in this committee from South.
Good morning, my name is Honorable Sabajan, also involved in committee.
Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Amara Yuba, Holy Council, a member of the committee.
Good morning, I am Lam Chisi, member of Kia West Constituency, member of Public Enterprise Committee.
Listen.
Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Chair, nominated member of the FPAC and member of the Joint Committee. Good morning, I will take it. Nominated member of FPAC and member of the Joint Committee.
Noted.
Good morning, I'm Honorable Keba Tumanisane, National Assembly member for Jarol and then a member of the FPAC committee.
Morning, Honorable Sadi Yao Jokran, member of Public Enterprise Committee and Joint Committee as well.
Morning, Abdullah Khan, Sadiq Manasarus. Morning, Ibrahim Mutane, Director of Audit.
Good morning, Babakar Bayi, Legal, NAO, Electoral Committee.
Good morning, Sadiq Masjala, Director of Audit, NAO.
Good morning, Yamuda Gai, Director of Audit, NAO.
Good morning, Maulana Jai, National Audit Office.
Good morning, Maulana Bari, National Audit Office.
Good morning, I am Parimal Sharma, I belong to the Public Enterprises Committee.
Good morning, my name is Fatma Kera, I belong to the Public Enterprises Committee.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I will move to the next item, where is the affirmation? Administration of affirmation. Representative from the Central Bank?
Yes.
We want you to
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Boaz Seli, Governor of Central Bank of the Gambia.
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Paul Mendy, Second Deputy Governor, Central Bank of the Gambia.
Thank you so much for this introduction. Next on our agenda is the administration of food information. So the flags will come to you.
I.
Yes. Boaz Seli.
Paul Mendy.
Do hereby.
Do hereby.
Affirm that.
Affirm that.
I speak the truth.
I speak the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
technicians, the secretariat of these two committees, including the director of committees, the esteemed members of FPAC and PECA in presence. Greeting all the morning visitors. It is indeed a great pleasure for us to appear today. Continue on our routine engagement in respect to the safe investigation that is happening on the 2024 passing motion at the Greenland. After conclusion, this is referred to the Finance and Public Accountability of the National Assembly and Standing Committee on Public Enterprise. Dealing with a parliamentary inquiry of a petroleum product of 36,935 metric tons, which is equivalent to $30 million. And the oil system from WFC, Clean Energy, Solid Logistic. These are the three companies that are involved. We have identified stakeholders that should have been for us. That includes the central bank as a stakeholder. That is why we will reach it to appear. But unfortunately, you need to appear by 10 days in the morning. Because taking a lot of time, we don't actually know why we are in late. And that really delayed our time. Because we also have another business that we do appear. So that is why we are very much conscious about the time. With you coming late was a surprise, so we want to hear from you.
Thank you, honorable members. And I apologize for coming late. We at the Central Bank, we are very time conscious. It's unavoidable, and there was a break in communication. These documents were photocopied and given to me by staff of the National Assembly here. But when I got a message reminding me that I should appear at 10 o'clock here today, my Director of Finance, Atika Ndiba, through somebody who works here, called Atika Ndiba and said, we are waiting for the governor, he should show up at 10, but he's not yet here. And he called my office. At that time, I was preparing to go and chair the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. This meeting is done every 3 months. We started it yesterday, and it ends today. Today is the voting and decision on the policy rate and the policy direction in terms of monetary policy implementation to fight inflation and to stabilize and have a very low and stable inflation. We are trying to bring inflation to be below, not more than our medium-term target of 5%. So that's what the meeting that is going on. And like I said, I was supposed to chair the meeting for us to now vote in terms of what the monetary policy rate is, and that will determine the course of action to try to reduce inflationary pressures. And Atikan called and said, Governor, the National Assembly members are waiting for you. I said, but I'm not aware of me appearing before them. He said, according to the person, someone was sent in the bank, to the bank. But I had traveled a while ago. I was invited by the Governor of Central Bank of Sierra Leone to be the keynote speaker at their 60th celebration of central banking in Sierra Leone. And because they were kind of impressed with our macroeconomic management, especially our success in trying to moderate and dampen inflationary pressures and the stability of the currency. So in my absence, because when I was here, I told my office to continue the investigation why I did not see this document. Because I can call back again to tell the person to look in their records here, the person who signed this and received these documents at the Central Bank. It happened to be my secretary, Sarata. So that being the case, when I called to dig further, the mail folders, when documents come to the bank, it goes to admin records office. Then it goes to the mail folder. If I travel, the mail folders will go to my deputies. Sometimes, if documents they will write for governor to see, including that is deputy 1 and 2. So there was a break in communication. These ones I did not see. But when I was told that I am to appear here, I told my deputy to continue chairing the MPC. He is also a member of the MPC. So we told the first deputy governor our vote, how we intend to vote in terms of what to do with the monetary policy rate going forward for the next 3 months. So that meeting is going on because after that meeting we have a press conference where we meet with the press to tell them the decision of the Monetary Policy Committee and what have we built in the past 3 months in terms of monetary policy, management, monetary implementation, management and monitoring up to yesterday, and what the course of action will be to try to further fight inflation, to bring it to the medium-term level. So that was the process that was going on. And when we are preparing for the Monetary Policy Committee, it's a lot of work. We have a technical team, a group of econometricians, and we have a consultant also who works with them to do models for us so that we so that we are able to now know what is happening in terms of exchange rate movement, inflation, economic growth, and a whole lot of other things to be able to determine where we are and where we are moving towards our target. So it's a very busy period. When I came from my travel, we normally have a meeting where they update me. So this particular one definitely falls between the cracks. But we apologize, Central Bank. I apologize on my own personal behalf and on behalf of the Central Bank for coming to the assembly late and for holding your session to commence late. This is the first time, and I promise it will never happen.
Thank you so much, Governor, Mr. Sedi and the team. I now the committee awarded, but based on the communication breakdown, we are unable to meet. I award the committee where we will be our motto, because the letter that I dispatched to is requesting specific information and specific government from your institution. Since there is a breakdown of communication, I don't actually know. Have you seen the content of the letters when the one that I give?
I've seen it.
So those information are not available.
If I may, Honorable, that will be a problem for the committee. We are always on top of things in the Central. When we hear noise, we do act, especially when it comes to the banking sector, the financial sector, I would say the entire financial sector, and anything that would impact the stability of the Gambian economy. Because in every economy, the central bank is the stabilizing factor. So we don't wait for people to call on us. We always try to be ahead of the curve. So we can supply the necessary information in terms of the document. Like you are doing investigation, we don't want to come with anecdotal evidence or a document that will not serve the purpose. This is a serious matter, it's a serious allegation. It has an impact on the Gambian economy and the financial sector. So when we heard about this through the press, my deputy here is the chair of the FIU board. So we took, like I said, action to be ahead of the curve. The Banking Supervision Department did an investigation. The investigation, they've concluded, they have a report that they've drafted. The report is supposed to come to the second deputy governor, because he is the one that is in charge of the financial sector. And then he will send it to IDAS for us to finally approve for the release of the document, which we will bring to your desk. But like I said, the investigation on this matter, you have a date, time set for us to come with this document. But we don't want to come with a document that will not serve the purpose of this investigation committee, and also inform us in terms of what has happened. Are there possible damages to the economy and the financial sector? And our supervision, regulation of the financial sector. Were there gaps? Were we sleeping on the wheel? Or what happened? This report will inform us. And that's why we are here to tell you, you said we come with a report. I saw it here. Like I said, we were above it, in front of the court. I would have arrived here with the report, but we asked it for a few days to finalize it. The director of banking supervision will send it to my second deputy, and we'll bring it to your desk.
Yes, right. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for giving me the opportunity. I think we have had the reason advanced by the governor, and but then the documents are pretty much very important for our review prior to our engagement with you, because we use those documents, that you are giving to us, so that we interact with you with respect to the documents you've given us. And of course, we pretty much know that every institution, if you are tasked with a responsibility, you should be on top of issues. But the documents are our reference, are our working tools as members of parliament with our technicians to look at those documents, and then we will have an interaction with you with respect to that. So I think it will be left to the committee, to definitely decide as to what we do about. For the documents, there is a reason for documents to be submitted prior to our engagement with them. And everybody should be comfortable with my statement. So anybody is not comfortable, I don't know why. I'm seeing some cases. So, but anyway, I think the documents are supposed to definitely come.
I'm straight to the point. Forget about whether somebody is.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Governor.
Yes.
I think it's unfortunate that the communication breakdown has had a lot of issues. And to be very honest with you, the required document that we requested are extremely. This is where we are going to bank and ask questions. So that we see there are a lot of things, but we also need, so that we can look at it together with the vision, dissect it, and have a way forward of how do we deal with this. So that we say this is an important inquiry that is a major concern as far as the economy is concerned. It's a public domain and everybody's worried. So when I'm thinking whether by before on the second next week, Monday, whether you'll be able to put this top of the stores.
Thank you very much, Assembly members. I again apologize for what I said. This is very for Central, and it's not negligence of duty. I can assure you that. Because if that was the case, I would have come here and say, what do you want us to do? Or we would have a verbal explanation. Before this, I looked at the dates of these documents that were sent to the Central Bank, August 12 and August 19. And my team went to follow on this before this thing, request was sent to us. But now, if you are investigating, I will let my second deputy give a little bit of information to you on those things. If we are investigating this kind of issues, some of these issues are on Central Bank of the Gambia, and that is the Banking Act and our regulatory tools or laws. The other part of this deals with AML CFT issues, and that is the FIU. He is also the chair of the FIU board. Now, we looked at this, even the FIU report, I've not seen the details, but him as chair of the FIU board, when he went to the board meeting and realized that the FIU report has leaked to the social media, under AOB, he told me that he confronted the FIU management and said, how can an important document like this, that is supposed to be confidential, be leaked to the public, and what should be done about it? That he is representing Central Bank as chair. That we are pushing also. But the reason why I said we are trying to look at the borderline between these two things, so that when we send this report to you, you will come with questions, and there could be legal implications. Whether it will end up at court or not, that is left to this committee and what the committee, the assembly will finally decide. But we're looking at all those issues. When it comes to giving evidence, who will be responsible for that? Even this morning, in this building, we were discussing with the director of FIU on those issues. But for us to summarize and be focused, what we were focusing on is these accounts, these businesses, how do they open accounts in our banks? Customer due diligence, was it done properly? And if they are not done properly, and also movement of those monies. If in terms of account opening, customer due diligence, and those kind of things, it's Central Bank, the Banking Act, and our supervisory rules will deal with that. Now, when it comes to those monies, if they leave the source of the Gambia going, those are AML-CFT issues, that is FIU. Our banking supervision department is trying to focus on those things to get adequate information, not only for this committee, but for the Central Bank also. We were discussing when this issue came to the front. Do we have even adequate laws in terms of customer due diligence when that law is broken? Because we understand one of the companies was not registered when the accounts were open. Now, if this kind of things happen, under our laws, we have the necessary legal instruments to deal with the banks in those areas. So these are the things that our report now, that's why we are trying to be careful so that the report is thorough and we bring it. Like I said, Central Bank of the Gambia has never appeared in this assembly or any sector of this government without the necessary information required is prior. We apologize for that. I can assure you, even if you want this report tomorrow on your desk, if we have to sleep in that building, we'll get it to you. Because the report is ready. is for them to finalize and we clear. And after the FPC press conference, if you want us to deliver this report to you tomorrow morning, it will be on yours.
Thank you so much, Governor. I think the questions are very clear. But what I'm saying, the committee, our deadline for submission will be as the second, Monday.
Okay.
But if you can get it earlier, the better for us to see. Then we will invite you to reappear, where we will go through
we will make sure today. We will make sure my deputy governor is ready for us to take money, but I'll make sure this report is on your desk on Friday, so that you get it on time, because I'm about to travel to the Association of African Central Banks meeting in Mauritius, and the AU have not appointed but have called on me in Tunis to go and advocate for them. They are trying to set up an African Monetary Institute for a single currency for Africa. But the African Monetary Institute is also going to be the institution. The G20 group of leaders have given Africa a chair on the G20. Now, for that chair to be effective in advocating for Africa in terms of the international financial architecture, we need to have a representation that will be effective and efficient. Now, to prepare our representative on that G20, AU does not have an institution or a specialized body that will be preparing and helping our rep on the G20. What they intend to do is to use the African Monetary Institute so that they will be the institution to prepare and work on whatever issues that the African continent want as a voice on the G20. Because what comes out of the G20 is what goes to the executive board of the IMF and the World Bank, and then it now goes to the international financial architecture. Now, what I am going to do at the ACB meeting, as a member of the ACB, but the AU also wants me to advocate the status of the African Monetary Institute. That legal instrument was approved under my chairmanship as the president of the ACB governors. It was altered by the specialized committee, that is the finance ministers of the African Union, so that it goes to the entire body, to the head of state. Now, the alterations that the specialized committee did is going back to the governors, and they want me to go and at least advocate for the governors to pass the modified version of the status so that it can go back to the specialized committee, to the head of state. So I'll be traveling to that. The reason why I'm saying that, when this thing gets to you on Monday, so that when you plan to call me, when is the date? It's from August, I think, 30th to the 5th. So I'm expected to be back here, I think, on the 6th of September. Yes.
Thank you for the information. Before we understand perfectly very well you are kind of busy, but if we are in visit of these things, before we move on, actually coming, at this time, let us be very well conscious. Any communication, correspondence from the parliament should be treated with the make sure the right communication is wrong. So that people concerned can be prepared to. We know how busy you are. That is why we accept it. And I believe that from henceforth you are going to very well prepared for really issues that we are on. So,
thank you, Chair. I think pretty much you said it all. Because I was going to align myself with Honorable Cisse to stress on the relevance of receiving those documentations. That is to say, allow the governor and the team to finish the report and then have it for consumption before the actual meeting. But just to stress for the records that at FPAC, CBG used to be, and they are still a very proactive partner. That is to tell the Joint Committee that they are one of the partners who will do their submissions on time, and they will appear on time. And many times they will wait for the Joint Committee, because we've been dealing with them for the past 2 years. And we hope and believe that the governor, during this appearance, haven't indicated any signs that that culture will be diluted. But I also want to make another request that should the CBG, because they have that overarching banking supervisory role, find any other additional information that might have relevance for the input of the committee towards ensuring that that report of the FIO would be adequately and effectively deciphered by the committee to enhance our work. We would really like to have it, because the governor did indicate that the second deputy governor is also the board chairman of FIO, which means you have more information at your disposal that we might know at the level of the committee. So yeah, just to say that let's not limit our request to what is entailed on the letter, but if they have additional information that might be crucial to the Joint Committee, we would be more than willing to receive. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, National Assembly members. Am I being heard? Yes. No, I take note of what you said, and if you allow me just to comment on something that the governor made mention of earlier, the fact that I represent him at the board of the FIU. Indeed, last week we had a board meeting, and this very issue was the reason why I asked for the board meeting. And we said, we asked them the question, that is the management of the FIU, what went wrong? They also claimed, well, let me not say claim, but they indicated that they were unable to establish how the report got into the social media. And before the end of the meeting, I revisited the matter and gave a directive that henceforth, every staff of the FIU must sign an oath of secrecy, not just once, but annually. Every January, they will each sign an oath of secrecy. But if I may also just comment generally on the issues of AML safety in this country. I'm an expert on anti-money laundering issues. I'm a mutual evaluation expert. I conducted mutual evaluation in some countries in the sub-region. And indeed, it is a multifaceted issue. The report of the FIU, according to the director of the FIU, when we had a board meeting, a report was sent to the tax authorities because there are issues of tax violation. Another report was sent to Central Bank, and this is why we triggered our own investigation. But we indicated to him as a board that should there be any siphoning of funds, that's a matter under the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2012. It's a matter for the FIU to take legal action, because it's unfortunate their own law seemed insufficient in my view, because they ought to go to the courts to impose heavy penalties on institutions like this. So that legal action will have to be taken if necessary. In the case of Central Bank, we are investigating primarily the issue of whether or not CDD, that the customer due diligence violations, are taking place. In other words, opening an account for individuals or legal persons that don't exist. So if that is the case, there are measures that the Honorable Governor could approve in terms of penalties, but usually they are monetary fines. We'll come to that once the report indicates such an occurrence. So why I say this is multifaceted, because the key stakeholders ought to take appropriate action, and as a country, we ought to make sure that if there are tax violations, they must be punished. If there are CDD violations, they must be punished. Money laundering in terms of Apogee, from the information that we got from the FIU, Apogee was not a registered company. But how could they issue instructions to move funds? That to me is money laundering. And it ought to be prosecuted appropriately through the law, which is a matter under the purview of the FIU. These are all things that we are going to look at, and the report will indicate.
Yeah, thank you very much for the information. And when you reappear, we would like to get this type of information after which we will also advise the country what to do. We want the whole truth to come out. It's very important. And we uphold a very central position when it comes to issues of finance. So we really thank you, and we want to appreciate every bit of your compliance, since there was a communication breakdown and you're supposed to it is a very important meeting, but because it was a National Assembly, you comply. Those don't want to be in line with whatever forward, because you want to show a kind of FPAC conspiracy. It was very close that you always comply. But as far as the supposed behavior,
can we have another witness from FPAC? Maybe the co-chair can testify. Honorable, you can call it. They are always what? Always punctual and then always on time.
I think that's a very good character they show. But for us, unfortunately, they appear in this manner. But we will look at it for the next time. Whether it's going to work or whether it's going to be. What are we doing next? So I thank you, and I want to wish you the same day back to the office. From there, when we are using the office, we'll communicate to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable members. We are going back to the RDC meeting, and we have good news for the country in terms of vital issues.